How now, brown cow? Unique New York. Unique New York. Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Rachel Interrupted. We took a little bit of a break, but now we're back. You thought you could get rid of us, but we're here, still here. What number episode is this? 5?
3.
Oh.
Yeah, we took a break after taking a break.
We did 2.
Yeah.
That's so me. I'm like, I do 2 and then I'm going to take a break. No, it's not because I wanted to take a break. I've just been busy. We've been busy and just trying to find the right time to come in and podcast while maintain our schedules and whatnot. But we've been wanting to get back to our regular scheduled podcasting. So like these last couple weeks, my parents and my sister came to visit. They came into town immediately. My dad wanted to go and get some barbecue. So we took him to Terry Black's.
That's right.
Where Jason Wade gave us the fattest hookup.
Great hookup. Great guy.
Not only that, but I have a Terry Black's t-shirt for every day of the week.
Yeah.
Like every day of the week, I could wear something Terry Black's.
Oh, yeah. He really hooked it up with more than just the meats. He went out and got merch. We look like we work for Terry Black's now. It was great.
Yeah.
It was super cool. I felt good about that. Her dad and her mom always take us to the best restaurants and they treat me great. And I felt like this was a cool way for me to give back. And I just pulled in my connections. We ate like gods. And
it was like we were still full from like the meal before because I think didn't we get breakfast or it was the night before it was a big meal?
Oh, wait, no, you're right. We ate before and then plans changed and they wanted to go to Terry Black's. This was after we all had breakfast.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's honestly the best way to go to Terry Black's is to not eat anything at all that day and that be your one meal.
Kind of like what we did yesterday with Fogo de Chao.
Terry Black's should be treated like Thanksgiving dinner. That's all you eat that day.
It should be treated like the end of like a religious fasting. Like you have to fast, and then as soon as you're allowed to eat again, you go hard.
You know, I don't
for
care.
God.
I don't care what people say that Terry Black's is like touristy or whatever. I fucking love it. I think it's my favorite barbecue in the entire world until proven otherwise. But as far as Texas barbecue goes,
it's not touristy for us. I mean, we get the hookup.
No, it's every time you drive by, there's lines, especially like on holiday
we don't have to wait
weekends.
in those lines.
But now, I've had other barbecues in the area. They're good, but Terry Black's stands out. So if you guys come to Austin, make sure you stop by Terry Black's and get yourself some real Texas barbecue. Also that weekend we got to watch Jeff Ross's one-man show, Take a Banana on the Road, or
Take a Banana for the Road.
Take a Banana for the Road. It was so good. It was so good. It was so funny and so personable. I feel like I got to know a lot about Jeff Ross's like upbringing and his family and where he comes from. And it was all really like heartfelt. And like I said, it was really funny. And I aspire to do something like that one day where it's just me up on stage and I'm doing a one-woman show. I would like to have a one-woman show one day. I'm going to put it out there into the universe.
I too would like to have a one-woman show. Jeff Ross is one of the most inspiring people I've gotten to know in my comedy life. Super creative and super, it's nice seeing him be the star of something because Jeff Ross is the kind of guy that helps out a lot. I mean, he's a gun for hire. This guy has to write when there's a roast, when there's whether it's on Comedy Central or this Netflix one that's coming up, he writes a majority of the jokes. People don't realize that. The guy is like, he's the go-to guy when it comes to producing the specials. So he works them all. I've had the honor to sit with him and write jokes for different roasts. It's super cool. And it's so cool the way his brain works. Like if you have a roast joke for somebody and you know how like the first time you say a joke out loud, we're a little jumbly, like maybe a little extra wordy. he'll like regurgitate it perfectly the way it was supposed to be told.
Oh my God. The funniest thing, my dad so at the end of Jeff's show, he asked people in the audience to stand up and be volunteered to roast. And my dad stood up. He wanted to get roasted by Jeff so bad. And Jeff just said, nope. He didn't want to step there. That's so funny. So
it was so good, man. I mean, like, what's really cool about Jeff too is like, as a comedian, like as just a guy on stage, he's so good at roasting that like he starts off kind of just roasting the audience a little bit, getting them going. And then it's musical. He has songs that are really good. He has a song in there that I had in my head for days after that. It was so hooky.
Fuck with the Jews.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with the Jews.
And it goes through like all the great Jews of history and all the inventions of Jews. But it's rhyme. He's so talented. It's a whole other side of Jeff Ross, but he also implements that same old roast master thing. It's so it was really inspiring.
Yeah. Such a good show.
And he wears like the suit that looks like a banana.
Like a banana.
Like bruised.
Yeah. So yeah, that was really funny. And
what was really funny is we went down to the green room after to say hi, and we brought Rachel's parents down there to introduce him to Jeff, and he was super cool. But it was funny watching your dad ask Jeff about what a roast is.
Oh yeah,
which like he knows. Like
my dad knows what roasts are. We watched them during the pandemic.
Yeah, we watched.
My dad was like during the pandemic, put on some of the roasts. I love that guy.
Yeah,
and so he got a chance to talk to Jeff, and he was like, so. What exactly is a roast? It's like, Dad, you know what a roast is.
He basically, so let me get this straight. Basically, you have a panel of people, but there's one guy that we're all roasting, and then everybody goes up and they tell their roast jokes on that guy, one after the other. Then that guy goes up and he roasts everybody. Is that right? And
my dad,
Jeff was like, "Are you fucking with me?"
My dad is a dad-splainer. There comes a time in every man's life where he dad-splains. It's an extra step beyond mansplaining. It's dad-splaining.
Fatherly.
Yeah, there's a fatherly. It's not a misogynistic tone.
Let me explain to you, little lady.
Which I guess could be misogynistic depending on how you take it. But you know, he's a dad-splainer.
I think all men.
I think my dad-splained to me what a Post-it note was one time. You know, you should get one of those little square packets. They're small.
He would say the thing. He would go, "It's a Post-it note." So basically,
write on it, and then you can stick it anywhere. And I was like, "Yeah, Dad, I know what a Post-it is. I know what a Post-it. You paid for all this expensive college. I for sure know what a Post-it is.
Mm-hmm.
I can. My diploma is written on a Post-it.
Right. Here's a hot take. I like being mansplained to.
It's just called splaining to you.
Well, I like it when they look at me, because a lot of men think of me as a woman.
When a man explains to you, he's just explaining to you. He's not mansplaining.
No, you don't get it. There's men that mansplain to other men.
I don't know.
And we're
about
just sitting there going, I mean, most guys probably don't like it because it's kind of I don't know, it's like don't mansplain another man.
No,
that's
what's happening?
Gay.
You're not being mansplained. You're being micromanaged.
I don't know, man. I have a friend who sometimes the only way for me to learn something is by being mansplained to. And I was asking him this thing about a guitar. He's a guitarist. And the way he sat me, well, it's like, you know what a neck is, right? The thing. And I'm just like, it puts me to sleep. I love it. I listen to mansplaining to fall asleep.
No, that's probably, we'll add that to one of my triggers. Can you add a note to the triggers, put what Matt falls asleep to?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can't wait to talk about that. That's a personal thing.
Anyways.
We're getting deep.
Yeah, so that was a really, really fun weekend.
Wait, can I just say one more thing about mansplaining that I love that you do?
Yeah, please explain some more.
I love the way you call me out on mansplaining when I do it to you.
You Matt-splain. Because mansplaining is supposed to come with some sort of like added intelligence that I didn't already know prior. Yours doesn't contain that.
What is mine? How's it not like everybody else's?
Yours is more emotional.
Okay. Well, I use a little bit more heart in my mansplaining.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think a lot of men mansplain.
What have you mansplained to me?
Oh God, I mean, a lot about comedy stuff, but it's like basic, like, I don't know.
You're not mansplaining, you're mentoring.
Yeah. That's usually not, you're right.
You're mentoring.
That's not usually the things that you're calling me on. They're usually things like that are super basic that when you know what it is? It's when I use it. My dad uses a lot of metaphors and I kind of pick that up.
Yes,
like,
he always uses metaphors and they usually involve wrestling. So I'm more confused than I was before the metaphor.
They're called metaphors. And yeah, a lot of them, I compare wrestling arcs to things that I'm trying to explain to Rachel. And she just looks at me like, yeah, I get it. You don't have to bring The Rock into this. Anyways.
And what does this have to do with rear naked chokeholds?
Well, it's like when you're suffocating and you have to tap, but you don't want to tap. So you just pass out. Just let it happen. It's more badass that way. I relate it to like, don't engage. I don't know. Anyways. She loves it. She'll miss it if it's gone. You'll miss the mansplaining if I'm not there one day. Ooh, that's cryptic. If I die. Save this for when I do. Yeah, it was nice.
Matt Lives Matter.
Matt Lives Matter. It was a nice trip with your family. I love it. I love hanging out with those guys. Oh, we also got your mom right after OJ died, which was interesting.
Oh, yeah. That's in the recent news. I forgot. Please respect my privacy at this time. I got a lot of text messages that day from like, obviously, all kinds of people saying I'm the first person they thought of when OJ Simpson died. And I just accept that.
Yeah.
That's my life.
You got a bunch of
But
texts.
also the other day, I'm worried now because like my like this joke has a shelf life. Like the audiences are getting older.
All jokes do.
No, sorry. The audiences are getting younger. Like the other day I watched a comedian go up and do a joke about Monica Lewinsky and the audience did not know who that was.
Right.
And I was like, oh shit, that's around the same time frame as like the popularity of OJ.
I watch people not know who Pauly Shore is.
Or like Backstreet Boys or Blink 182.
Yeah. Yeah, big time.
Or that they don't know that Justin Timberlake was a part of NSYNC. That he was just Justin, which is crazy.
Yeah, there's the younger kids are now like in our adult world with us. So
I'm going to keep doing that joke until
it's not funny anymore.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so OJ died. I made a couple jokes about it. I posted my OJ joke.
What if OJ was actually innocent? That would be shitty. What a shitty life. Like, yeah, everybody thought I killed my ex-wife.
To me, I just don't think innocent people run and cause police chases. Like, if you're innocent, you would have talked to the police and you would have done anything in your power to find the real killers behind the mother of your children.
You're starting to sound like your mom.
I just think logically, you know, but he was found not guilty. So you have to honor that. And then he committed more crimes. So it's like, look at the track record, look at the situation, you know, everyone can come up with their own conclusions. The court, say the thing. Jury, it's up to a jury either way. Like my mom literally just upheld what the jury had found to be true or not. Or, you know what I mean? So like my mom wasn't the one who made the final decision to send him to prison. She was just honoring her job as a judge, what the jury had found him.
What could your mom
guilty.
have done? Could she have given less of a sentence?
I don't know.
Or did
You're
she just drop the hammer on him?
Questions that like I don't know the answer.
I'm gonna ask her next time. I can't believe I haven't, of all the things I've talked to your mom about, I can't believe I haven't asked her if she had options.
I think there's don't quote me if because I don't know. I don't know the law. Otherwise I would have been a lawyer. That there's like a minimum sentence and a maximum sentence. And then she gave him what she gave him. And then I don't know what the conditions are, but he might have been able to to not serve the
Right.
full sentence based on good behavior or whatever.
Right.
And I think that's what happened is he got out early than completing the full sentence. So there's that. And yeah, so that happened.
I wonder if he ever told anybody the truth, especially in prison.
Well, I feel like at this point, now would be the time to like, he wrote a book called If I Did It.
Yeah.
I mean,
by the way, there's no like, how many like professional football players have been accused of murder? Probably very few, but there got to be some. But then how many have say OJ never committed that murder, that trial never happened, nothing ever happened. To still run into the legal problems that your mom was involved with the robbery case, like he robbed a guy, he brought a gun, right? Like he brought a weapon. Like no football player, not too many football, but there's just not a lot of people that do that, you know, that are not criminals or not violent in some way. That like,
I think you'd be surprised.
People showing up with guns to get stuff, like,
I mean, that's why like the courts like are filled with people committing crimes.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
I'm saying within the pro athlete, pro football player.
I mean, I'm sure there's a statistic of pro athletes who
that commit crimes, no doubt.
Yeah, and
but
I'm sure you could find that in any like range of athletes, but it's probably not common because I'm sure there's rules for like the NFL in college where you can't commit crimes. But I don't know. I don't know any of this because I don't concern myself with the statistics of either of these. I just think that, you know, I think that like stupid things happen.
Yeah.
And this was one of them.
I just think it's funny to think of OJ as innocent. Like, dude, I didn't do it. Like he really didn't. But yeah, I wonder if he got real with anyone. If anybody knows. So the NDAs, that's interesting.
I wonder if he had CTE. And I wonder if that played a role in the decision making of like a lot of the decisions in his life, but we'll never know because his family refuses to have his brain studied.
Well,
which is crazy.
It's interesting.
Just like, wouldn't you want to know? I mean,
it's interesting that he had on his dying days, he had everybody in there sign NDAs. Like, so I don't know. That's interesting though. I would love to. What happens though if you like break that like contract? Like, yeah.
The ghost of OJ.
He's like, I will be haunting you if you tell anyone.
Yeah. It's 420. Just wanted to say
that.
Right
but
now? By the time people listen, it will be whatever time they listen.
But right now it's 420. You always got to say it if you happen to catch it.
If you're smoking and listening, take a toke.
Right.
Take a puff now.
Didn't we also, since the last episode, didn't we have the actual 420? Haven't we celebrated 420 since?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So 420 was a fun day. We woke up. Bianca, our friend Bianca, wanted to like spend the day with us, basically, because who else are you going to spend this 420 with, honestly, besides me?
Right.
And
it's like hanging out with Santa on Christmas.
Right. Like, you know, and then we and a bunch of friends like Asan and Mark Smalls and who else was there? Christina. Who else came over? There's someone else who we had over.
Oh, who's that
Catherine
girl?
Blanford.
Yeah,
who else came by?
Right, that was the crew.
Dean was supposed to come by. We met him downstairs. What was cool was Moon Tower was going on, and everyone was staying basically where we live and downtown. And so it was like all the comedians were around, and we got to like basically always have people to hang out with. We saw all our LA friends. We saw a bunch of like people that, you know, we love. And so for 420, we just had a giant sesh basically. And then we went down to the pool restaurant and had some drinks and some food. It was really fun. Mark Smalls is a very funny guy. I feel like you, Mark Smalls, Craig Conant, uh, who else of that genre? You guys are all like could be the brothers in comedy.
Why?
Who else? Because you guys kind of all look alike.
That's it.
And you all have that like cadence, that like kind of like chill stoner, like cool guy, doesn't try too hard. You know, just like that like LA type vibe.
Are those guys from LA?
No, but I think it's a vibe, you know. Those are all good things. You guys are all really funny comics. There's something about all of you with your mustaches and your long hair and your goofiness that really transcends audiences.
Well, yeah, we should all get in a room together and collab, show each other our dicks, see how like we really are.
No, I don't think you should do that.
Circle jerk all the chill dudes.
You didn't like that comparison? Is it triggering?
I just don't like being compared. And if I said that about you, well, you're like fucking this, this girl comedian, this girl comedian,
no, I
this
love
girl
it.
comedian.
I would be like, yeah, they're all really funny and that's really cool.
Right. Okay.
I am secure enough to like be like, yeah, that's.
I see it.
More than I'd be like, are they hot? I'd be like, hell yeah. Like, I mean, if they're funny, that would be the main thing, and they're hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
mainly funny, but those guys are all funny.
Yeah.
So.
No, I like every one of those guys. I've known Craig for a long time. And I love Craig. And Mark Smalls, I just met him in my apartment. And yeah, we meshed pretty good. Yeah, it was hard saying goodbye to that guy.
Yeah. I wish
it's like, we're leaving. Is that it? Nah. You know, some people, it's like you're just looking for a way out. I was like, all right, well, I hope I see you later.
Yeah, that was good times. Good times.
Yeah, Moon Tower, or all the festivals, they're really cool here in Austin for us because we get to see everyone. Like we get everybody in our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Because it's not like that in any of those towns, especially LA. Like in LA, it's like nobody hangs. Nobody's hanging. We see each other every night. New York, I felt like I did take walks with people sometimes during the day. But I mean, when you're a comedian, we see each other every night. So, but this is cool because like we're literally they all want to go out because they're in Austin. They want to eat. They want to like, and we have the resources. We know all the spots, and we live in the neighborhoods. So have people over. Fun. Did I just mansplain friendship? All right, it's when two people or multiple people that like similar things get together. Together is like when you share space.
We'll do a collaboration, a compilation rather of Matt-splaining things in each episode. That'll be a good video.
It would be like Joe Rogan's Edward compilation, just all these different times. Oh, God. He has the funniest joke about that, by the way. I can't wait for the Joe Rogan special. That's going to be sick. That is going to be a sick one. All our friends. I mean, Brian Simpson's special, super funny. Tony shot a special. Tony Hinchcliffe shot a special. I haven't seen it, but I've seen him work on that stuff enough. That's going to be fun. It's like our friends are doing funny shit. One-man shows, Paulie's one-man show's great. Pauly Shore has a great one-man show. Stick with the dancing. It's very musical. That's what I think I never understood about these one-man shows. What the hook is how musical they are, because they're more of a play. They're like, it's a one-man show. That's why I'm always like, you mean stand-up? But it's like so different. It's not the same thing. A one-man show, basically.
Yeah, could you please
you recently took a overnight girls trip after another pretty much all girls trip.
I went on a new separate girls trip with a separate group of girls here in Austin that we all either work together or know each other through comedy. I think I was the only comedian, but everyone else worked in comedy, and it was so fun. It was just like a random like group of girls, and we went to Fredericksburg, which is like a very German town in Texas where they have a bunch of wineries. And I was like I was just like overwhelmed by the German culture. I was trying so hard to hide my Jewish. Like, I was like, I was just, I was like, I felt really uncomfortable at first because I was like, whoa, like they really love Germany down here. Like,
Yeah.
I've never loved a country so much before like this. And we found the one Israeli restaurant in the town, Christina and Quinn and we ate there because it had Israeli salad on the menu. And I was like, well, this has to be a safe space for sure.
Just
like,
protesters out front.
And then we ended up meeting up with the rest of the group and we went to this really dope winery. And I shared a bottle of rosé with my friend Haley, who's the manager of Sunset Strip. We love her. And Christina came, who's an owner of Sunset Strip and my best friend since college. And we had the best time. We, after the winery, went back and we rented this giant house that had it was enough room for like 9 people.
Yeah.
And it had a pool and a hot tub. And I really weirdly fell in love with this town because I want to go back and try a bunch of other different wineries because I was like, it's this like weird Texas German crossover. Like the pride is overwhelming. It's so weird. But I like being out of my element. I like being in places and like situations where I'm not comfortable because I think that's where material comes from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I'm literally out of my element. I'm not a big drinker either, but I do enjoy wine. And so I'm curious. And we find a place to go have dinner, which is this like I think it's called Crossroads, which is like a very Texas restaurant. Like you walk in, Texas flags everywhere, pictures of like Texas moments in history. I'm just like, wow, this is really it's like I'm overdosing on Texas.
How many glasses of wine did you have?
Over the course of like the night, I probably had like 3.5, which is a lot for me, but
Damn.
It's spaced out. That's a lot for me. And I was surprised I didn't get like hungover. And I think it's only because I paced it out and I ate a lot just because I knew I was like, this will soak up the alcohol.
When did you start drinking?
In the afternoon, like probably, around 2 or 3. And then I didn't drink at dinner. When we got in, it was just this like, it was 2 rooms. There's one room with a dance floor where they take like line dancing very seriously here. And we were on the dance floor because that's where the bar is. There's no other place to like order from the bar. And this old man with his wife start dancing over towards us, and he tells our friend Maddie that no drinking on the dance floor. Like he like tried to bully us out of the like. It was just. We were this man had to be in his like late 70s. Like he's, he takes it very seriously.
He hates this world. He hates this world where women get to do things.
I know. And I was like, wow, they must be like,
but you're in his,
I'm in his backyard.
Yeah.
Like I'm in,
like, he's like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So
but the bar is downstairs.
So there's 2 rooms. It's like there's a bar and like a dance floor and a stage where there's live music.
But he told you can't be where the bar is?
You can't. It's like one giant room. There's a stage and then there's a bar and the dance floor is in between. But like you have to, you're kind of in the dance floor.
So there's nothing you could do anyway.
Yeah, he was just being, a mean old man.
Yeah,
and
totally.
We were in his space, and that's just what it was. And so we got our drinks. I mean, the girls got their drinks. And
I bet he talked about that for like days after that.
Well, it was like a group of
I told them they can't.
I hope
drinking.
We're like this with our friends, like olds, and just like going out and doing things together, and like still, these people were a group of lucky people. They had like a group of friends. They were doing. It seemed like this is all they want to do. This is what they live for: is coming out and dancing on. He
was part of a group.
Oh yeah, it was a group of like older men and women.
Yeah,
who were.
I bet they had like rock paper scissors. Who's gonna tell her?
Yeah, and so
they all wanted a piece.
No, it was very cute. Like it's just like, oh, like this is a middle America. Like we're in America. This is what real people who aren't comedians. How they live there. This is where they get their joy.
They get shit-faced.
For me, I get up in front of people and be mentally ill. For this guy, he does line dancing.
I wonder if I would drink more. Wow, who would I be? Who would you be without comedy? Like what? Because I would need to get my kicks doing something. Fucking crime.
I was gonna say I'd be a criminal.
I would be a driver. No, I'd be like the guy that drives at the fucking. We have a drop off and the getaway driver.
Yeah,
but I will be a very safe getaway driver. I'm not gonna speed. First of all, not breaking the law. That's obviously we're guilty if we're going fast. What are you, OJ? No, I'm following the rules of the road, 10 and 12, and keeping the music down. We're smuggling some guy. We kidnap somebody. Like, shh. Yeah. Don't make me. I start swatting them. Don't make me pull over.
You would be like the worst criminal.
What podcast you guys want to listen to?
ADHD criminal. He forgets the keys. He drives to the wrong getaway location. He gets, a flat tire occurs. He doesn't know what he's doing.
So we all thrown down for gas?
Yeah. He can't even pay to get away.
You guys are the ones making the big bucks here. Come on. How much was that hit? How much you getting for that guy? All right. You could at least give me some gas.
Yeah.
These rough times for a getaway driver. Is that like the go-to? Like if you're a getaway driver, do you work as like, that's just you just work for all sorts of different gangs? Like that's what you do? People order you like Lyft? Or do you work for one gang? You stick with those guys?
If you're a getaway driver who's a fan of our podcast, please comment below. Matt would love to know.
I'd love to have you on. I'd love to pick your brain.
You can have that on Matt Interrupted.
Yeah, I should have a Matt Interrupted where I get like psychopaths on. Like, so why did you kill your mom?
I think you should have a spinoff, Mansplaining.
Mansplaining. That's the podcast?
Yeah.
Can we do it live?
Let me
do it in here.
So here's what it would be you. It would be you.
Well played. Well played, Rachel. Well played. In that you did that very well. I want you to know, like of all the ways you could have done that, that was well. Good timing. You paced it out. I had done the joke a few times, just building up for you to do it. It was brilliant.
You just took credit for my joke.
I just basically mansplained how well you made.
I know what you did.
That's. Don't you see that was a joke within a joke? This is infinity, dude. This is like Inception. It's folding in on itself.
Okay, please explain to me.
Inception was this movie by Christopher Nolan. I don't even know how much this has to do with that, to be honest. Sometimes I mansplain myself into corners and I have to mansplain out. See, I don't know what I'm talking about right now. I started talking about one thing. Now we're talking about something else and it got me all confused. We're gonna have to play it back.
Do you have any questions for me?
Let's see.
Before we get into the spots for the week.
Is that what we do next? Spots? Okay. Questions for you. You went on this women's trip. How long into it until you missed me?
Matt, it wasn't even 24 hours.
Good answer. Yeah, I didn't miss you at all.
No.
I'm kidding. You're right. That's the funniest answer.
I missed you.
You texted me that you missed me. I'm kidding.
I fell asleep. It was the wine.
Oh, that was just the wine. The wine got you missing me?
Yeah, it wasn't the time. It was the wine.
Oh my God. That's so. What kind of wine is that? Because I want to get that exact kind.
Rosé.
Babe, I think you need some of this right now because I need you to miss me for a second when you're mad.
Yeah.
Anyways, questions for you?
Oh, wait. No, what's next is not that isn't spots.
No, it's not. That's what I thought. It's triggers, right?
Yeah, but what you have any other questions for me?
Why are you so pretty all the time?
I need not a rhetorical question.
Okay. For one right now. What are you doing later? Want to go to bed together?
Well, I'll go to one bed and you can go to the other.
All right.
Matt and I are sometimes sleep divorced.
We like to mix it up. That's how
if anyone doesn't know what sleep divorce is, it's how a relationship works.
Yeah.
In,
Basically,
in the day of our Lord 2024.
We watch something. And usually fall asleep in said bed.
And then it gets really hot.
And then somehow you never wake me up, but somehow we're both awake at the same time. Well, usually Gomez gets hungry in the middle of the night, and then she'll say he's hungry, and then like, all right, that means I got to go in the other room.
Well, because it gets so hot, even when we have the air on. I'm a hot sleeper. I'm a horrible sleeper.
Yeah.
And Matt's a better sleeper than me. So sometimes like
this actually leads into our triggers, because what I go do is basically I'm free. I'm off the Rachel clock at this point. When she tells me it's time for me to go into the other room, I'm like,
okay, so
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
This is where I get to be in high school all over again.
It's fine. We love it. It's good for us. It works for us. A lot of couples do it.
Well, that's where I get my me time to like basically do whatever I want.
So I'll fall asleep.
Jerk off.
So I'll fall asleep.
In peace for once.
And like, but then I'll get woken up to a man's voice, and I will go into his room, and he has like loudly a man playing on his computer who's probably some kind of manifestation.
Sometimes I go the manifestation route.
He's like some manifestation coach. Sure. And I'm just like,
it could be that'll happen. Doing? It's basically, I need somebody to like explain things to me. Until this is the most full circle episode of Rachel Interrupted, because literally what I go do when you're asleep, what I'm really doing is listening to like audio or like live. I'm listening to somebody live and they're explaining stuff, whether it's a TED Talks or it's like I like hearing Neil deGrasse Tyson when he used to be a professor, like when he was still like doing his lectures. They were really good. Also, unpopular opinion, Jordan Peterson when he was a professor was way more entertaining. Like I like hearing live talks, so I like being mansplained to, and it puts me to sleep, and I'm learning in my sleep. And then Rachel comes in like, hey, what's going on here? Turn it down. Stop your manifesting.
Like, why is Jordan Peterson playing at 4 a.m? Like, he needs
That's
help.
When it's the best.
He needs serious help.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's also like the other night I'd listen to some guy talk about tornadoes till like, and I fell asleep to it. And yeah, I can imagine what it's like for you. That's so funny. Yeah. Yeah, no.
Well, I just like don't want to hear like
she'll let me finish watching what I'm watching if she falls asleep before we're done with the thing. But she doesn't like to be woken up.
Yeah.
And that's a big no-no in our house. And I like blasting Peterson. I feel like if it's not loud, am I really learning?
We need help.
Or I'll play video games. Yeah, it's fun. I love that. I love that time.
What's your trigger?
Well, my trigger is something that I came up with in the midst of this podcast, like something that since we started doing this podcast, and I have to start thinking about triggers, I have to go back and realize old triggers that probably have laid dormant this whole time. I don't say nothing, I don't think, but inside I'm like, and my big trigger this week is a long-standing trigger. It's going to happen tonight. It's happened in the last 24 hours. It always happens. When we're out in public and she rolls a blunt, she passes it to everyone else but me first. Pretty fucking crazy, seeing as that's my girlfriend. I always make sure she's taken care of before I pass, not just with weed, but with anything. Make sure Rachel's okay, then I check it if everybody else is okay. Rachel would roll this beautiful, juicy blunt. She's hitting it first.
Sometimes it's like before Matt gets there, I'm already like, I'll be like, it'll be.
That's not what I'm talking about. Of course, if I'm not there, you could start without me.
And then Matt will walk into the room, and I'm like rolling a blunt, but I had already been like, oh, I'm smoking this is a birthday blunt for you.
Oh no, don't. Now you're lying. That's very rare if that's ever even happened at all. Usually, it's she rolls a fat blunt and She starts smoking it to get it going.
I'm just being hospitable.
Her thing is, it's like
you smoke the weed all the time.
Matt smokes with me all the time. But that's just it. It's the Matt. I know Matt doesn't need this, and I'm just watching it like, all right, well, maybe this guy should watch fucking TV with you until you fall asleep, or her, or whoever you were to roll it. It's like, come on, I'm the guy. I'm like the guy that's fucking wiping your butt, metaphorically. I shall smoke of first, second to you. That's my trigger.
We'll see about that.
Well, now that it's out there, and you know how many times I've wanted to say something, but I was like, I'm saving that for the trigger.
He does
saving
say
that for the podcast.
He does say he does get mad. I see it.
You see it? Oh, wow.
No, because you say stuff, but
no,
I don't
state.
Yes, you do. Stuff. I don't mean to do it.
You don't mean to do it?
No.
Okay, I didn't think you did either. That's why it's a pet peeve. It's
sometimes
not that you
I pass to you first.
Sometimes, yeah. You did last night.
It's different.
And by the way, it happens so rare. I remember when it happens.
I pass it to everyone differently.
Yeah. But if there's other people, it's going to go this way
all
rather than...
All blunts are created equal.
Yeah. Either way, I get it. And I also...
It's being a stoner. It's like, here.
Yeah. It is also being a stoner. I get that. I just had to say it out loud for the trigger. You got me forcing...
Because my thing is you're going to get it.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to get.
Yeah. But sometimes...
And I've tried to make my blunt circle smaller.
Yeah, you have. I've noticed that lately.
I'm very particular.
She'll like lean into me like, hey, just keep this between like us. Like, it's so true too. It needs to. You can't have it unhinged because it ends up.
Mainly what I'm passing
you barely get any.
Mainly what I'm passing it to someone else. It's because ideally I'm trying to keep it between that person, you, and me.
Oh, that makes sense. You're trapping it within because you don't
because you're gonna end up passing to me anyways.
Or I would pass it to the next person.
But you don't know who that next person is. I have control over the blunt then.
Got you.
And then when that person smokes it, they're going to look at me and be like, who do I pass it to? And I'm just going to point. It's not about...
Or it's going to go in a line. Usually it goes in a line and then makes... And I watch it like...
Normally that person...
Guess I'll be...
But that's why I keep the circle smaller now. And normally I'm aware of who's in the room. It's not like... There's some blunts I'm like, okay, I'm trying to smoke everyone out. And then there's other blunts where I'm like, okay, just like a few people. Mainly I'm always just smoking people out. I don't really have. For me,
this is why this trigger makes me feel like an asshole because when I think about it, it's your weed and but I'm just like, hey, like
weed is meant to be shared.
If I have drinks for everybody, like,
and you know what it also is?
I'm giving Rachel her.
You know what it also is? It's like. Sometimes like it'll be a moment where I know this person needs to hit the blunt. Like you obviously need, but this person has been working all shift or whatever. Like we just had a long
that.
And I'm
totally
like, here, like take a hit of this. And
we're usually in comedy clubs. And if somebody walks in that's working there, that's our friend. And they're just like, you could tell they just got done.
I'm mainly rolling it like to like share with the workers because like I'm trying to make their shift like more fun. And because like when I was working at the Improv, like I would give everyone edibles and like some people edibles, but like it was just, it's more fun. Work is way more fun like that.
Yeah.
You know,
I hear that.
And we're all just vibing. We work in comedy. We're like so lucky. We get to get high at work. Like,
yeah,
you know,
pretty fucking cool.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a vibe. I'm director of vibes at Sunset Strip and also door girl of the green room. Door person.
Like once every couple of weeks.
No, I work there. Couple days here and there.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm always like, whose dick do I have to suck to get in this green room?
Sometimes it will be me.
Sometimes. Every now and then it's her or yonder.
I've had to say no to people who want to come into the green room and they're not on the show and they're not allowed to be in the green room.
How's that feel?
Powerful.
They hate that.
Rules are rules, my friend.
Yeah, that is true. Rules are rules. And if I don't know you and I don't know you enough, or it's like, I don't know who in here, I don't make the rules.
Okay. As a comic, like it's one of those like unspeakable things.
Yeah.
This is something
You're right.
that should be explained.
Right.
If you're not on the show or you're not requested to specifically be in the green room, then you don't belong in a green room.
Preach.
That's all.
Although,
and like some people need to be told that, like new comics need to be told that, because everyone's just like, oh, a green room is for comics. Like it's like the teacher's lounge. Some places are like that, but a lot of places mostly are not. Like if anything, there'll be like a patio, like how Creek has a patio for comics to hang, but the green room is sacred and it's for whoever.
And Sunset Strip, unfortunately, doesn't have any really other place than its green room. So usually,
no, comics can hang at the bar,
but that's in the same room as the show.
So like you're allowed, as a comic, you can watch most of the shows. You can go up and watch
but
the
I'm
show.
saying hanging and talking.
Well, yeah, I feel that, but that's why every club is different, and that's why Creek is a good hang, because they have a place, like it's one of the only places in town where everyone can hang.
Right. It is a good hang.
And that's important too, because that's where a lot of like comedy culture happens.
Right.
And you get booked from that. You're hanging out, you're smoking a joint. That's where you get to know the bookers, where you get to know like the people who are a staple at that club. Like having a comic hang is so important.
Yeah, these are relationships.
And that's also why being in the green room is a privilege too, because you get direct access to whoever's booking that show, comics who are getting booked. It's a vibe. So yeah. I love the green room at Sunset. It's probably my favorite green room.
Yeah.
It's always, and then yesterday, so we went and got Korean barbecue or Brazilian barbecue, Fogo de Chao, with Red Band and Janice. And we were done. We had the meat sweats. And we finished eating, and Matt and I walked by the Toy Museum of Austin. And you can go and pay $17 and play all of these games, everything like pinball machines, like video games, all kinds of stuff. And I see in their case, they have an N64 that was for like $70. And I was like, I'll take it. And so I got that, and I got GoldenEye because I had my N64 growing up, and I had a bunch of games from my childhood when I was living in LA, and they got stolen because I left them at my friend's house, and him and his roommate moved. And his roommate took my fucking N64 and my childhood games. So I was like, when I saw it yesterday, I was like, oh, it's a sign.
Yeah.
Like,
so she straight up bought it right there, which I think, if anything, because immediately when I walked in, they're like, ooh, I want to like get in bed with this company here. Like I want to like be able to come here and hang. Like it looks super cool. You just buying the N64 right there definitely bridged the gap, because like now we could like go there and see that guy, and like maybe he'll like let us in every now and then. But I want to go and have the full experience. Let's do that on Sunday. You have shows on Sunday?
I don't think so.
What do you got coming up?
I don't know.
Well, Sunday we should go there. You catch us at what's the place called?
The Toy Museum of Austin.
Toy Museum. Yeah, I can't wait to get in on that shit.
So I've had some fun recent spots. Recently I got to judge and open up roast battle at the Mothership. That was my first time getting up in the Fat Man, which was so cool. Matt saw it.
Fucking killed it. I was at the side of the stage like a proud papa.
Yep. And it was really fun. And that episode of Roast Battle will be coming out. I don't know when, but it'll be really funny. And I can't wait for that to come out. And then we just had a bunch of 420 shows. So I had 3 420 shows booked in one night, which in theory seems fun. But
wait, no, you had more than that.
No, I had 3 spots, but one of them it's like 2 spots. So it's like I got up 4 times.
Oh, yeah.
And the first show was Get Ripped, which is one of my favorite shows here in Austin. I kind of have like a residency there. I basically do every Get Ripped. And we love our friend Corey who runs it. And my sets are like up and down at the show because you're performing in front of people who are most likely stoners, and stoner audiences are notorious, mainly the worst, but you get some good stoner shows in there, and it makes you like believe again. But and Matt has a whole joke about performing in front of like people who are high, and it's Yeah, so
I
funny.
love that show because you could actually, it's a really good workshop show. It's like a great way to get new material because you go up like sober if you do it right. Most people, they
See,
don't.
it was 420 that day, so I had already been smoking. So my
Right.
first set was just like, my first set was all over the place and I felt like I had bombed. Like it was not good. And I was like, fuck, now I have to go back out there. That's
But
the
you
worst
get
part.
high and then you go out there.
And then I get out there and I just stick to my like original plan of like my original set. And it was great. Like I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I redeemed myself. I hope that made them forget about my first set.
Right.
And then the next show was this stripper pole show, which has been happening at Sunset Strip. It's actually really fun. And when you're on stage, they have like pole dancers go up and then they have comedians go up. And while you're on stage, they'll throw money at you, like as you're telling jokes. And I was like, oh, this is kind of addicting. Like I wish all comedy shows were like that, where people just throw money at you. I think that would be so good.
When I did that show,
that.
I ran the light.
Yeah, so he can make more money. I made like over $50 in like tips plus whatever they're gonna pay us. But
when you do that show too, like they have what they call kitty cats, and it's just these like younger strippers that are just starting out. Their job is to collect all the ones.
yeah,
So then you go backstage and a stripper comes up to you with a wad of ones, and it's like, whoa, I've never been on this side of.
Yeah, it's and so I was worried to count how much I made because I was worried I got less money than the other comics, but I ended up making like a lot.
Yeah,
not a lot, but
same,
more than I thought I would.
We think that it's because, were you up last or were you up first?
No, I was in the middle.
So I went up last, and I think that's the last hurrah. Like if you have any more money to throw, it's like going to be in that final. Could be, oh, I got these ones left. I was sitting on them. So you get the finale. Or it could go the other way and people run out by the time it gets to you. Who knows?
Yeah, and that show, so 420, or I mean, Get Ripped was packed, and then the pole show was packed, and then the last one was like a in-house show, and I hosted that, and that was really fun. But I was so high. Oh my God, speaking of so high, I watched a set of mine the other day, or sorry, it was today, that was from the Side Splitters Sunshine Comedy Festival. It was a set from Side Splitters. I did a joke twice and no one noticed it.
Wow.
I have like secondhand embarrassment.
Wow.
And I told it 2 different ways.
And you didn't even know then? Makes you wonder how many times have we done that? We just goes undetected. That's so crazy.
To be fair, I had it's a festival, so I've been doing multiple sets and I like lost track of like.
So that festival I was also booked on, but I had to drop out last minute to do a different show. But like on that show that I dropped out to do, it was the first time that's ever happened to me, where I said the same joke twice. It was in Fat Man.
Oh, you feel like
sold
so
out
stupid.
Fat Man. And like I go and I'm setting it up and I'm looking, people are looking at me weird. And I'm in my head, I'm like, I also had a fever. Like I was
feels like,
up.
You know, when like someone is singing their lip and then you find out they're lip syncing.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Right. Because you're seeing behind the curtain. Like I'm doing the same little nuance.
Like this is just a performance.
To like set it up. And then I go, I tell the joke and it gets a laugh. And I'm like, and I'm quiet for a second. I'm like, did I already tell that joke? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, wow, thanks guys. Like what a great crowd. Like you guys just, you totally didn't have to laugh again. Like,
yeah, so funny. But overall we've had some good shows lately.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Wait, we didn't finish. We still have the DM of the week. I almost finished out.
Well, let's pull that up.
Oh yeah. So this is Sunset
close
Strip.
Out on a DM. I like closing on the DMs.
So Sunset Strip had a photo shoot for the class of 2023, 2024, like door guy class, basically.
Yeah.
And so this is my photo and George Knapp took it. And I love George Knapp. And I really like this photo of me because it's just like so like school picture. And whoever had like a positive school picture experience. And I thought this was like, you know, a nice school picture of me, class picture of me.
You look like one of the teachers.
Really?
Like in the yearbook when the teachers also have to take, you look like the hottest teacher at that school.
Thanks. Thanks for explaining that. And
hottest teacher ever.
Of course, this guy, I always get a few comments whenever I post like a presentable picture of me or whatever. Anytime I post anything, but mainly pictures of me, I'll get a few comments that are Wolfie DMs worthy. And this was one today. This guy said I'm the ugliest hot chick he's ever seen.
Top of the bottom.
Yeah.
I hear that.
And then I was like, okay, but what does this guy look like? And then I went and I clicked on his picture.
Oh, yeah, let's do that. Wait, by the way, of course it's private, so you really only could see this one picture. And wow, he really doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Looks like a young Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin origin story.
He looks like a thumb.
I mean, what, like, let me see his profile. Truth is my goal. Or no, truth is my gym. Oh my God, that's even better. Truth is my gym. Well, you should probably go to a real gym. Truth is your gym. It looks like you don't go to either. Truth is my gym. Wow, man.
Yeah, so that was my
Coming
DM.
from a guy who he looks like a flat earther. Is that what you mean? Like you look like you talk to only people that believe in Bigfoot.
Yeah, he's
like those are your people.
I get the best comments, and I also got another comment today about how I don't show enough thirst traps, and then I go to this guy's profile and it's a picture of him and his wife. I was like, what?
Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Somebody would say something awful to you, and then it's a picture of him and his family.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's somebody's dad.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Well, you guys are asleep at night. Your dad's out there.
I know, I could not. I'm trying to picture, like, is my dad one of those, like, secret commenters, like, haters on the internet? You know what I mean? Like, he could never, but it's like, you guys lie awake at night wondering, about the world, and just know your relatives could be sliding into my DMs.
Yeah, it's like, I bet you that's a nice guy to everybody's face. Like everywhere he goes, he's probably a nice guy.
Dude, Al Rogers. Everyone loves Al Rogers.
By the way, you're not the Al Rogers. That's like
he
the
is.
most.
Everyone.
Two
that's
most
what I'm saying.
Basic white dude names together.
Al Rogers,
believe me, I'm a Matt Edgar. I know.
I love Al Rogers. Like,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure to
he's like the mayor of his town.
I mean, there's people that think he's like a really nice guy.
I'm sure his mom's basement is like the nicest one in all of the town.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Bet he doesn't. This fucking dork. The only thing he keeps clean is his face. Very well shaved. She shaved all his chins that day. What are you thinking?
Thanks, Al Rogers.
What are you thinking about, Al? What do you think of it? Why does your profile look like you're thinking about how can they not see that the earth is clearly hollow? He just looks like a conspiracy theorist. I wonder what you jerk off to, Al. Probably that picture of Rachel.
I don't think we're allowed to say.
Ain't that truth? That's the truth.
Well,
you honestly, you could replace Jared from Subway. You look just like him, and you probably are into the same shit. You fat fuck. Anyways, all right. So
now that we got that out.
Okay, so
that's it.
That's it. I think we did another one. Pretty
yeah.
Pretty fucking solid ep. Right?
Cool.
Wait, are we gonna close out? Do you like
I did it.
That was it? Okay.
Oh wait. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah. There's going to be more thirst traps. I guarantee that. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Stay tuned now.